Howdy, my darling Gemini. How are you doing, friend? I'm here to give you your tarot message for today on this Saturday, or whenever you're watching this video, I suppose, Gemini. But I hope you're doing well. Let me know how your week has been treating you. If you have any plans for this weekend, and yeah, if you notice down below, Gemini, I have a timestamp to where the first portion of this is going to just be talking about what you got going on in your own personal life, Gemini. Right? What you're manifesting, what you're working on, what to be watching out for. Just your general, tarot reading. And then the other portion of this, Gemini, is going to be talking about your social life, right? Because I understand not every Gemini cares about your, hearing about their social life, or, this is just not interesting to some folks, right? So I like to separate it. So my tarot readings are all inclusive, darling, right? So you can check out the second portion if there's someone on your mind that, and see maybe if I connect to their energy, or for you're able to see, what social connections are going to be coming in the near future for you, all right? But let's just start talking about the most important person of today right now, Gemini, which is you. All right, how have you been? So let's get into this. The first three cards already came out here. 10 of Wands, the Chariot. Ooh, friend. The Chariot, the Three of Swords, and the 10 of Wands. And then the Lovers, Gemini, you're showing up in the back of the deck here. Ooh, okay. So Gemini, you're connecting to me at a time where it's like your character, you've been building a lot of character, you have been dealt a lot of blows that, you've been able to make some lemonades out of the lemons you've been given, but you're a little bit tired of receiving said lemons. You're just like, all right, enough is enough here. When is the good gonna start happening here? And the beauty in this here, Gemini, to me, is I kind of want to, is it okay, Gemini, if I want to go into a little bit of a corny message here, where I do feel like you are someone that rises up like a little bit of a phoenix here, because you show up in the back of the deck. All right, something's not going to defeat you. All right, your circumstances that you're dealing with right now are not going to defeat you, whether they're health related, whether they're spiritually related, personally, financially, like, you're not going to be defeated here, Gemini. All right, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I see it being really hard on your, hard on you. It's like you wake up and you already feel like a 10-pound weight, 30-pound weight on your chest, Gemini, because you're just like, life is just really hard for you right now, but you're going to end up showing up as, you're showing up as the victorious one, right? To me, especially because it's in the back of the deck there, Gemini, how you're showing up, like, to me, it's like a little bit of a plot twist that happens in here in your life. So let's say, for example, maybe, you're needing to figure out how you're going to pay off a certain bill, like a car note or something like that, but, right now you're not really sure how you're going to find the money. Because of that Lovers in the back of the deck there, to me, it's like a very plot twist energy, where it's like the money that comes in an unexpected way. So it's like you don't know the full story of how things are going to be playing out in the next few weeks for you, Gemini. All right, so don't, easier said than done, right? But don't psych yourself out if it's possible, Gemini. All right, things, you're there's definitely going to be a plot twist here. All right, yeah, star energy, there's definitely going to be a plot twist here. Your spiritual team hasn't forgotten about you. They're still actively working on this here, and just because you're not able to see it and understand what they're working on right now, Gemini, when the moment comes, it's going to be fabulous. All right, so what are you manifesting here, friend, outside of just like the trials and tribulations that you've been going through, Gemini? What are you manifesting? What are we working with here? What are we going towards? Page of Swords coming in. All right, so you are actively taking steps towards building big details of your life here, Gemini. So you are somebody right now that's on a path towards taking big action towards like lifelong goals, right? So maybe it's been like a lifelong goal for you, Gemini, to live, in a different country. Maybe it's been a lifelong goal for you to like live on your own. Like, to me, you're on a fast track towards accomplishing one of those bigger life goals there. All right, something that's been on your vision board and will maintain being on your vision board until you either accomplish it or until you pass away, right? Until your time reaches an end. Because this to me is like one of those, like, it's not just like a temporary, like, this is like something big. And I'm proud of you, right? It's like you're taking life by the balls here. Even though you're going through all this crap, Gemini, you're taking life by the balls and you are handling it quite well. All right, you're showing up in a very powerful way, both as the King of Swords and then again as your prime, as the Lover's energy there. Like, you're showing up in your prime. I think really the only suggestion I want to be giving to you right now, Gemini, is to really just understand like how you're showing up. Like, I feel like you might be a little bit more critical on yourself right now because you're just like, you feel like you could be doing better, and maybe you could be doing better in certain facets of your life, Gemini. I'm not going to sit here and, fluff you up. Maybe, you're a realist. So, your situation better than anybody, right? But, just because you're not doing like your ultimate best of what you could potentially be doing doesn't mean what you're doing right now isn't good enough. Your average right now is still somebody else's, like, working, they're 110%. You know what I'm saying? And so you just are extremely high sense of standard for yourself, which is good, but make sure that you don't just utilize this as a way to self-inflict pain and add shame and, to torment yourself and always just guilt yourself and be critical towards yourself. Use it as a way to motivate yourself, but also understand, give yourself the credit that you deserve as well. Make sure that you are still maintaining and giving yourself the flowers that you deserve there, because you are, you're doing the big thing, right? You're doing big things. You're making big moves here, even with all the stress that you're under. Like, you're really making some big accomplishments here. Page of Pentacles showing up here for you, Page of Wands, and then the Three of Cups. Something big is coming in terms of a celebration. Very new energy here. You have two different pages that show up in tarot. Gemini pages represents new energy, new opportunities here, right? And then the Three of Cups just talks about celebration here, right? So if you recently put out, like, for example, like an application to somewhere, Gemini, especially because of that Page of Swords, if you have been considering starting a project that would be, best case scenario, it'd be something that would really pay off financially, maybe like a new stream of revenue, side hustle, business, whatever that is. I think it'd be very profitable. If you have been on the fence about making like a big decision of your life here, whatever it is, especially if it's like the start of like a journey, the start of like building like the foundation to be something very big. Like, what I'm being shown as like analogies, Gemini is like the Steve Jobs, like was it Steve Jobs that's like working in like the garage, and like those like come up stories there, right? If you have like your own Steve Jobs moment or scenario that's about to be going down there, honor it, commit to it here, because it's gonna pay off. To me, this is gonna be so embarrassing if it's not Steve Jobs. Who is like the people that was like working in the garage? Is it Bill Gates? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then I'm sure someone in the comments is gonna correct me. But yeah, like, to me, this is such an opportune time right now. Probably really scary, especially because of like what else you got going on in your life there, but it's definitely worth it. You're on a path towards something that's gonna be really great. I was talking about Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, and this is literally, you get the King of Pentacles as well as the Ten of Pentacles. This is literally the embodiment of building an empire, right? So not to just make this purely about your financial life here, but you're on a quick path towards some really strong financial stability in your life there. Really making some big moves in terms of what's going to be serving you for the long term for your future there. So lean into it more, all right? I know it's probably really overwhelming, and again, especially with everything else going on in your life, but you got it going on here, all right? You're doing a really good thing, all right? So I'm proud of you, if no one else has said it, Gemini. So take that as you will. We're going to get into the social aspect for you now, Gemini, and see what's going on in that regard there. You can start thinking about the person that's on your mind right now, and we'll see if I connect to them. Just as well, though, for my Geminis that are not talking to folks, I'm going to just be connecting to like your current energy. And if you were to maintain down your path right now, not change anything, socially, what can you be expecting? What might you run into, right? So the person on your mind, the Magician, the Four of Cups coming in here, as well as the King of Cups back of the deck, the Nine of Pentacles here. Gemini, whoever this person is, they know what they're doing, all right? They know what they're doing. And I feel like this is like a pattern in their life, all right? So whatever they're doing towards you, whether it's positive or negative, that's for you to identify, but they know what they're doing. They're showing up as the King of Cups. They're showing up as that Magician there. If we're wanting to look at this from a cynical point of view, Gemini, you're dealing with someone that is potentially like a little bit emotionally manipulative. If we're not going from a cynical point of view, you're dealing with somebody that You're dealing with somebody that is trying to compensate for something. This is like the example of someone that's like just didn't receive enough love as a child, and so they are always actively seeking emotional satisfaction or gratification from other people, but it never satisfies them. They're always looking for that next hit, that next fill. And so just make sure when it comes to whoever this is, Gemini, that they're not using you as like an emotional battery to fill themselves up, because it's just going to become parasitic really, really quick there. All right. So yeah, if that is for the person that's on your mind, I'm just going to leave it like that. In terms of just your general social trajectory here, though, Gemini, outside of this situation, what's going on? Strength energy showing up. Okay. Let's continue on. 3 of Cups here, as well as the 10 of Wands. Back of the deck is the Temperance energy. Whew, Gemini. Man, you're getting challenged from all fronts here, it seems. Even the 5 of Pentacles afterwards there. And it's you're taking it hard, man. To me, right now, Gemini, it's like, I wish I could just pluck you from where you're currently at and just surround you with better people. All right. Not to say that everyone that's around you is like a crappy person or anything there, Gemini, but I just feel like you could definitely benefit from being around people that just really fill up your cup right now. I feel like you could really benefit from being around people that are not wanting anything from you other than just like your sheer presence. And I think your spiritual team is going to be trying to facilitate an environment like that for you as well, Gemini, to be around certain people that are going to fill up your cup. And so if you start noticing certain people in your life just, starting to be distant randomly, and then other people starting to like make it a point to like try to connect to you, make some time for you, that's what's going on there. Don't try to resist it. If someone that you haven't heard from in quite some time hits you up there, lean into it a little bit more. All right. Because I do feel like there might be a little bit of resistance on your end, Gemini, when that comes in, because you don't realize because that's the scenario I get here. It's like you are resistant towards the very thing that's going to fill up your cup. And if you were to give it a chance, if you were to like allow the conversation to flow, it will provide to you the very thing that you didn't know that you needed. And again, on the flip side of it as well, Gemini, there's going to be certain people that are going to start acting different. Maybe if they haven't already started acting different, Gemini, and being more distant and things of that nature. Dropping all the cards here, but we caught them all in our lap here. If you start noticing certain people being distant, Gemini, out of nowhere, don't try to fight it. Just let them be. It's your spiritual team is trying to create the space necessary to fill up your cup, and obviously those people at the current point in time are not going to be able to fill up that cup for you. 9 of Swords, 10 of Swords coming in here, and then that Queen of Pentacles, and then the 7 of Wands here. There is a level of guilt that I feel like you're carrying right now, Gemini, when it comes to vocalizing your boundaries, and I want to really just be telling you to get out of that mindset. All right. I feel like here there's like something that either is triggering you, or there's like people in your life that just are doing things that just, you would like them to be doing something different. You would like them to either be more communicative, for example. You would like them to, I was saying more communicative, and I noticed I pulled an extra card here that was like stuck together, and it's the Page of Pentacles. So it's like there's certain people that you would like to communicate better with you, or there's certain people that, you just want them to be doing something different. But I feel like you feel guilty about asking them for it, because 7 of Wands, it's like you don't want to upset them. You don't want to come off as the bad guy or come off as needy or whatever the case is, Gemini. And I want to be giving you a suggestion, or some food for thought, rather, when it comes to your connections, your relationships right now, that you might be having this anxiety just based off of like previous crappy people. It's kind of like the storyline where it's like maybe in your old relationships you were always told you were too clingy, too emotional, yada yada yada. But it's not as if you're too clingy or too emotional. It's just those people are crappy people, and they didn't want to be around you. And so you took that as like there's something wrong with you, or that you're too clingy, when in reality, it's like they're just a crappy person, right? And it's not as if you're too clingy. It's just that you just were not around the person that is able to appreciate your energy, appreciate your personality there, right? And I feel as if that's what's gonna be coming into your life more, especially the newer energies that come into your life here, Gemini. All right. I don't know. I just get like the strong impression here, Gemini, that there's a lot that you've been internalizing, friend. And it kind of just bums me out. You know, and I feel as if part of it's just because, you know, how hard life has been here for you for a little bit. But also, yeah, it just feels to me as if your social circles right now really, you know, they could be better. All right, they could be better. So keep your head up, Gemini. Remember, it's not your fault here. And I'm going to just leave you to it, my love. All right, I hope you continue having a good weekend. I hope this video at least improved at least 15 minutes of your day for a moment. And yeah, if you enjoyed this tarot reading, Gemini, let me know how this resonated down below. Let me know if you had like a light bulb aha moment. You know, if I said something that really connected with you or resonated with you. I would love to hear about it. And yeah, if you want to book a private one-on-one tarot reading with me, you can look down in the description box where I have my website linked. It's just SimplyVelca.com. And yeah, I will connect to you sometime in the near future, Gemini. Bye, friend.